Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to Heart, Mind, and Mechanics of Coaching. We talk about the energy side of coaching, and today I have as my special guest Melissa Curran. Melissa is the owner of Scented Balance Inc. She is a certified aromatherapist. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, that's not energy work. It's to support energy work big time, and I am so happy to have her with us. She is somebody who developed her own blends to really support your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual well-being through the wisdom of pure essential oils, which I absolutely love. This is a calling for Melissa. I don't think you went to school to study this, right?
No.
Like many of us, you did something far more practical, right?
Yes.
But this is where your heart is. It's where your love is, and you do just such a bang up job of this. So I am so excited to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I really appreciate this. This is a wonderful opportunity to share my passion, and I get excited and all wound up and so thank you.
I am so glad, because when we do energy work, I work a lot with business women to help them with clarity, with focus, with alignment, with taking the parts of their personality that are splintered off and create limiting beliefs and grow those up and reintegrate them. But it would be so nice to be able to say, and when you've done this work and you re-listen to that meditation, then go get this essential oil, or put this on your wrists or the back of your neck while you're listening to this meditation, because it's going to support you. So let's talk about how essential oils can support these wonderful ladies.
They are amazing. It supports you in every way, shape, and form. And that's where I get excited. And it's like, what do I say first? Aromatherapy goes back like thousands of years. And truthfully, it comes from plants. It comes from trees. It comes from fruit and flowers and botanicals. And it's the original medicine. So this was medicine before the pharmaceutical companies got involved in the mid 20th century. This is what your wise women use. We're using what I call the bounty of the earth. It's the wisdom of nature. I mean, we all know nature knows what she or he, whichever you prefer, nature knows what she's doing.
Right.
And I would love to meet the person who said 5,000 years ago, you know what? That's lavender. I wonder if I rub it on my head, if I'll calm down. Or there's a birch tree. What if I strip the bark and suck on it? Will it make my headache go away? I mean, I find that kind of stuff interesting. But getting back to your question, it's been over years and years of observation and actually doing some clinical trials that essential oils have components in them from the earth that are good for body, mind, and spirit. It's helpful for anxiety. It's helpful for stress. Some of them are good for perking you up when you're sagging, and others when you've just had enough and I can't take any more. They're good for clearing out that exhausted mind.
Right.
And what it's doing, I call this my woo-woo perspective, because sometimes it seems like it's a little out there, but I believe this. Since body, mind, and spirit is connected, a pure essential oil blend, a synergy blend, speaks to your soul. It feeds and nourishes your energy. And that's how it is connected. So it is energy work to a certain extent. I believe it is.
Well, I think that it certainly supports all of that work and can make it more effective. So when you're dealing with your energy, particularly on days when your energy just seems to be all over the place, right? A really good essential oil can just bring you back in and focus you, calm you down, let you get on with the things that you need to get on with. And I love that aspect. I mean, apart from the fact that it just smells so yummy.
Yes. I make life smell better.
That's right. The way that the effect that it has on on your emotions, the effect that it has on that vibration, that energetic vibration, is
Yes.
just so profound. And I think that, it's really interesting that we have people like you who are certified aromatherapists who have been studying this and understand that, as opposed to, well, I'll just, I'll go into, my favorite organic food store and just take something off the shelf.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the things that affect business women most, because those are the people that we deal with a lot. And so especially now, where there are just so many demands on people, because we are not quite open. We keep saying we're open for business, but we're not quite. We keep getting, having to pull back because of what's going on in the world. And there can be a lot of stress when you're trying to manage your house, do your work from home. Perhaps you've got children at home as well that, are demanding your attention more than normal because they're not sitting in school. The amount of stress that can kind of build up to the point where you just want to go and bang your head against a wall.
Exactly.
Can be enormous. So what would you say for those types of situations?
I would say, bless you, number one. To every woman out there, we bear the burden of society. Mm-hmm. I just truly believe it. And in the middle of a pandemic, because we are in the middle of it, folks, we're not out of the woods. No. Women are bearing even more of the brunt. We are taking care. Of course, we're supposed to be taking care of our kids, but we should have spouses that help us. And that's not always the case. Or the spouse doesn't take as much responsibility as they're supposed to because she'll take care of it. And then we're homeschooling and we're doing all this. And so the load gets heavier. And what I've noticed, because I read a lot, I listen to some podcasts, women are drinking more. We are stressed to the max. Yeah. And, we can talk about self-care. Mm-hmm. Let's all take a moment and collectively roll our eyes, because everybody's going, oh, spare me. No, it is important. But I understand if you, especially if you're a single mom and you're an entrepreneur, or you have a high pressure management position, or you're in sales, or you are the CEO, God bless you ladies too, because you're breaking those glass ceilings for us. You can't always just sit down and let's take a long warm bath and meditate for 20 minutes and whatever. Yeah, that ain't going to work. So that's where essential oils come in. And that's where wonderful energy workers come in to help us. And a lot of times what I tell my clients and the people who come into my shop, which, by the way, I'm going to move out of the way. This is part of my shop. So beautiful. Welcome to Scent and Balance Aromatherapy Shop. If you can stop for 15 seconds, I didn't say minutes, I said 15 seconds, and just take a deep belly breath through your nose, slowly, and slowly let it out through your mouth. There's self-care. And what's happening there is you're accessing the pure oxygen at the very bottom of your lungs, and your blood needs that. And when that starts getting into your bloodstream, you perk up a little bit. You're not quite as stressed. So it's a way to self-soothe. It's a way to calm your stress. This is where I've got little roller balls, and it's going to be hard to see. I've got a light on so that you can see, and I'm doing it backwards like a dentist. This is called Anxiety Ease, and this is a roller ball that you just put on your wrist. You can put it right here. If you're having a moment, you can roll this Anxiety Ease right under your nose, so you're smelling it. You can put it, because you see my skin is a little shiny. I am drenched in essential oils from my roller balls. I use my own products. Absolutely. I got about 6 of them on right now. And I think what's helpful about the Anxiety Ease is it calms your central nervous system down. I can't work magic and do this for you. You have to do the work. You've got to take the deep belly breaths. You have to slow down for just a moment. Right. But essential oils pure ones, and I'm insane about that, they provide a tool
Right.
to help you so that you don't have to do this alone.
So
So now
the wonderful thing about that, Melissa, is that, all of us are we were just laughing about this, that we're all in so many Zoom calls where,
yeah,
we kind of go
yeah.
from one to another, that this is something you can do between Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
because it's so fatiguing
Mm-hmm. Go
to,
pee, wash your hands, and put on your essential oils.
right. I mean, that's all you ever have
That's all
time
you
to
got
do,
time
right?
for.
And it's a wonderful way of just kind of perking back up and thinking, okay, let's get on with the next thing, and to kind of realign
Mm-hmm.
your focus at that point.
Mm-hmm. And I have one for focus too.
Actually, and that's brilliant, because I know that, for a lot of us who work from home, everybody thinks, oh, you work from home. It's, what's the problem? The problem is that you actually end up working harder, because you can go from one Zoom call to another Zoom call to another Zoom call to answering emails, writing a proposal, back to a Zoom call without leaving your desk. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to go to a meeting room. I mean, all of this stuff just crams everything together. And so, having even just 5 minutes as you're running to your restroom, grabbing your essential oil as you go, it's just amazing. It's so helpful in that regard.
And I think the other thing that pushes that stress button is when we're all working from home, as we did for a while, there is no quitting time. I get in the car, or I get in the bus, or take the train, however you do it. We're not doing that. We've got the 30-second commute, and everyone says, oh, you are so lucky. Not necessarily. I'm not leaving the house very much. Yes, I'm dressed up. And I've painted my face. But there's no delineation. There's no 20 minutes that you can sit in traffic and breathe for just a moment without screaming kids. And that just adds to the stress. And women are drinking more. And instead of drinking more wine, yes, I'm guilty. I was having an extra glass of wine every night, and that's not necessarily good. It's tasty, but not good. Wrong tool.
And quite interesting, like, I don't drink. My husband and I don't drink because it interferes with our meditation. But what we found with this particular pandemic of not getting out and seeing people and having to deal with a lot of things in a manner that's probably not ideal is that the stress was still mounting, and it comes out in other ways where your sleeping patterns are broken. You're not taking those those 20 minutes to go, as you say, somewhere, and and just be able to relax during, and I know it sounds weird, but to relax during the drive, because there's so much as much traffic on the road,
right,
or whatever. You don't have that anymore. And so what's happened is a lot of that stress is showing up in other ways.
We have digestive issues.
Yes, absolutely.
We have skin disorders such as eczema and psoriasis. You're having migraines. And if not migraines, you're having more headaches. So all of this, I'll even go one step farther. I have a client who came to me and said, I'm just mad. I am so pissed off, and I don't understand what's going on. And it's like, let's take a look at your life, because I'm also a holistic life coach, which means I've learned to ask very pointed questions that make you think. You don't have to answer the questions, but I do want to make you think. And if you're normally I won't say a happy person, but if you're normally not a pissed off person, we'll say it that way. And then all of a sudden you find yourself just, I'm ready to punch somebody out at the drop of a hat, and I don't understand what's going on. There's anxiety. There's a disruption. There's your stress. And you're not connecting the dots yet.
Right. And the interesting thing is that sometimes that energy coming in, we tend to think that when we're around people, that we might pick up their energy. But because we're more housebound,
Mhm.
We tend not to ask ourselves, is this my energy or is it somebody else's? We
Mhm.
just assume that it's ours because we haven't been around, but you can still pick up other energies, and they
Oh,
might
yeah.
not be yours. And they do need to be cleared. And we
Mhm.
do need to ask those really tough questions that we've forgotten because we think because that we're not around other people, therefore it can't be me. It can't be them. It's got to be me. So you're right. There's a lot of people with a lot of stress, a lot of anger, a lot of really
Mhm.
dark feelings, and
They
uh,
don't know what to do with them.
right, they don't realize they're not theirs. They don't know how to shift them, and so
That's where we come in, isn't it?
that's right. In doing that energetic work,
Yeah.
while it's important to do the work to shift all that stuff, having something like an essential oil when you're done to support the work that you've been through, I think is really important.
I actually have a roller ball, and we'll talk about how you can get these things, because I would love your listeners and your viewers to check out my website. But I have one in particular that a customer helped me create, and she
Okay.
said several years ago that she is a female and she works for a landscape company, and that's
Mhm.
all male, and they don't listen, and it just made her mad. And she said, I need something for the mad. And I said, sounds like you need bitch away. And she says, yes, I do. And so I have a rollerball called bitch away. And it is for those white hot moments when you're going to punch somebody in the throat and you're about ready to explode. And you literally put this on your heart, put it on your wrists,
Mhm.
and it will help diffuse the moment. I can't make it go
Wonderful.
away.
Right.
It's like I tell folks, I can't fix, cure, heal, or change anyone. I can offer you a tool to
Right.
help you in your process. So that's where essential oils, they've kind of gotten a little bit of a bad rap here and there because there's so much misinformation, but they
Yes.
are amazing tools to
Mhm.
help you let go of anger, let go of trauma, work through the frustrations, work through the stress. They're
Right.
wonderful tools.
They absolutely are, and I'm really glad that you're here to talk about them, because sometimes when we work through something with a client or even on our own, and we manage to shift an energy, that energy often wants to come back.
Mhm.
And an essential oil that helps to really kind of seal the deal, if you like.
Yes.
We've dealt with you, you're gone, you're out of here, you can't come back. Just having that essential oil as a support tool, I think is just awesome.
I don't know. Something that I have learned to do, there's some pretty dark emotions that come up. And I think we all have our moments where
Mhm.
our energy is heavy and where it is darker, and
Right.
we're processing junk and we don't know what to do with it. And sometimes for me personally, is just, of course, my roller balls, all 16 that I put on. Like I said, I'm drenched in them.
Right.
But just to acknowledge
Mhm.
what is going on and say, yes, I am angry. I am angry because
Mhm.
my job is not going well and my kids are underfoot and my spouse isn't helping me. It's good to acknowledge it and say thank you, which
Yep.
sounds ridiculous, but I just believe you need to thank some of these emotions and say, okay, you're showing me where my energy, number one, needs a little bit of work, needs a
Mhm.
little tweaking, but where I'm not aligned. And if I'm not aligned, what
Yep.
is one tiny, tiny, tiny little step that I can take? I don't want to tell you to jump off a cliff because you got the 3 kids and the spouse and the job and the schooling.
Right.
But what's one tiny step you can take
Right.
with those emotions
Mhm.
to honor them and then let them
Absolutely.
go?
Absolutely. What you push against just grows. So
Yes.
just I always picture when there's an emotion that comes up, and I tell this to my clients, just picture yourself sitting on a step
Mhm.
beside your emotion and just treat it like a little child that's having trouble.
Okay.
Don't try to judge it. Don't try to solve the problem. Just sit there with it.
Mhm.
Let it be. And usually it will dissipate within
Mhm.
90 seconds or so. But
It
it
just
would
wants to be heard.
Yeah. It just wants to be acknowledged that it's there, that you've got this. And then you can go to whatever your support essential oil is. And after you've done that exercise, just put that on to give yourself a little support to go forward. Now,
Absolutely.
we had talked about something that you do that I think is absolutely amazing. And I am so glad you do this, Melissa,
Thank you.
because there's a shelter here that we love to support.
Thank
And you have a roller ball where you buy one and you give one to women who are victims of domestic abuse. And I think this is so wonderful. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yes. Thank you for asking about that, because I am a survivor of domestic violence in my 20s. And I didn't have any resources. And it's still, I thought I had healed from it, but it's still very tender. And a dear woman I know several years ago had a vision, because she was a domestic violence survivor. I want to call you a survivor. And so her vision was to have a safe space called Annie's Hope Center for Healing and Growing for women, even if you have children, to come and heal from the trauma and the abuse. And so what I did, that entails what's called emotional healing. And I know it's hard to see this because of such a glare, but this is called emotional healing. And I make a roller ball, and I also make a body lotion that you can put all over your body. But the essential oils in here are more of a spiritual in nature to help you release the old traumas, to open your heart up once again, to open up what I call the crown chakra, that energy center that connects you to whatever divine you believe in, your higher power. And I just am so excited about Annie's Hope Center. It officially opened this past Sunday.
Oh,
for the first client. Yes. And we had I was invited to the blessing ceremony, and it's a beautiful space to come heal and maybe brush up your skills to learn to start the next chapter of your life. Right. So for each purchase of this emotional healing rollerball, and it's $19.99, you give one to a survivor of domestic violence at Annie's Hope Center, and that's located in East Bend, North Carolina. I'm in the central part of North Carolina in this state, and it's about 30 minutes from me. Okay. And this is something I can do to give back and pay forward from my experiences. And it smells awesome because it has Palo Santo in it, and it smells so good.
Wonderful. That is just such a blessing.
So and thank you for asking.
And we'll get to how people can get to you to buy your products in just a moment.
Thank you.
But before we do, my last question is, so how can we use essential oils? There are so many different ways. So what is best? What works for your clients? What have you found? When they should have a roller ball, when they should put in an infuser, when they should have a bath or whatever. Let's talk about that.
It's truly a personal thing. There are several ways that you can use essential oils. My favorite way is just to diffuse them throughout the house. Of course, I'm sitting here again. My skin is shiny because I got my roller balls on. Again, that is the best, to me, that is the best way. It gets it into your system very quickly. So let's say however long it takes to you personally to take a Tylenol and it starts working. Maybe that's 15 or 20 minutes. That's about how long these essential oils are going to take to get into your system. So it just depends on the person. I love to put them on my heart area, diluted. And again, all of my roller balls, they're already diluted and safe for you to open up the lid and start slathering them on. I love the heart area. The symbolism of your heart is all about self-love, and it's your lifeblood, and it's everything. Right. And that is sometimes symbolically, put it there, put your essential oils there, let yourself know you love you. You can put it on your inner wrist. You can put it right behind your ears or on the back of your neck. Another way is a diffuser. You can get them just about anywhere. Your favorite supermarket probably carries them. Add a few drops of either a single oil like bergamot or lavender or peppermint, or you can do a synergy blend. I have several synergy blends. You can get them maybe for something that you want in particular. Put a few drops and let it permeate your living space or your cubicle at work. Another great way is to put, let's just say, a half a cup of Epsom salt and sprinkle a few drops of either your favorite single essential oil or a synergy blend. Put it in the Epsom salt and then put it in a warm bath and just soak. Epsom salt is very good for detoxing your system anyway. But when you put the essential oils with it, for instance, maybe you've had a very hard day, you can put 2 drops of, let's say 3 drops of lavender and 2 drops of eucalyptus into a half a cup of Epsom salt, and start your water in your bathtub and mix it in there. And you're going to get something, the lavender will relax you. It will help balance, because it's good for balancing all of your systems, body, mind, and spirit. Eucalyptus is wonderful for that foggy monkey mind, what I call it. My brain is just running and running and running, and I can't calm it down. And so this is a really good thing to do at night before you go to bed, is lavender and eucalyptus together in a hot bath. Oh, and then climb into your jammies and crash. You can actually open up a bottle of essential oil and smell it. Just smell it. If you have a sense of smell, and not everyone does, just smell it. And that's going to get into your system the quickest. Your sense of smell is connected to your limbic system. And your limbic system goes right into that bloodstream. That is going to be the quickest way, is smelling it. So there's several ways that you can do it.
Wonderful. So if our ladies would like to find out exactly which oil they should use for what, can they find that on your website?
I think so. I have a lot of blog posts on there, and I go through different oils and different life events and what might help with it. So yeah, I think so. There's a lot of information on there. I work with chakras. I work with some of the energy centers too. And there's a lot of information on there, but I want to make it simple. I want to make it easy and fun. Using essential oils, really, I want it to boil down to being fun for you, even when you are trying to heal emotionally, or trying to deal with an upset stomach or a headache or a migraine, or God knows we all have those hot flashes. And essential oils are wonderful tools for all of these life issues.
They absolutely are. And I'm so glad that we have the resources to be able to find, things that support the other work that a lot of us do, particularly for those of us running businesses and we're just kind of run off our feet. It's so nice to be able to say, I'm going to connect with my favorite aromatherapist and figure out what it is I need for this, and then I can get back to what it is that I'm doing.
And there's 2 areas that I have expertise in, and I have gifts. We're going to call it gifts, because I do believe we should each claim our gifts. And as women, we aren't as apt to stand up and say, I have this gift and I want to share it. We're taught that that's not ladylike, and I think that's wrong. So my gift is helping people manage their chronic pain, because I can do that, but also custom blending. So you're unique and you have a particular need, and maybe you can't have lavender. So one of my stock blends isn't going to work for you. And so you need something custom. That's what I do.
And that's
because
brilliant. Absolutely right. And I don't want to leave the guys out. So for any of you who identify as male, this isn't meant to leave you guys out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't have children at home anymore, not even grandchildren. They're scattered around. But I do have a husband who has heart issues.
Okay.
And knee issues. And, as you get older, things happen. And so, for I know that people who are on heart medication often can't have certain things,
Mhm.
like grapefruit or whatever. And so some things I don't let him near because of those issues. So it's nice to know that you can do custom blends for people
Yes,
who have
absolutely.
who
Yeah,
have
because if
issues.
you're on a blood thinner, for instance,
Yeah.
you need to stay away from peppermint because it's going to come out your nose. Yeah, that blood will come out your nose if you're on a blood thinner, especially the older blood thinners.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you need to know what you're doing. And this is what I tell everyone. Just because it's plant-based doesn't mean it's safe for everyone, because cocaine is plant-based.
Yep.
If you think about it.
Yep.
So you, while they're relatively safe, far safer than the toxic chemicals we get at the drugstore, you still have to know what you're doing a little bit and understand if you might be sensitive. So, and that's where I come in.
Absolutely. It's so nice to have a professional that you can talk to, that you can feel safe with, that you get to know, and who gets to know you. So that,
Yes. Yes. Thank
so,
you.
so great. So how do people get hold of you? This is the important part.
Well, I am active on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. My handle is at Scented Balance. My website is scentedbalance.com. I'm on LinkedIn under Melissa Curran, but good luck finding me there because there's like 10 of us. Really?
Yeah.
So I have an evil twin. Well,
but I'll bet your evil twin doesn't smell as good, right?
I think you're right. And my email is balance@scentedbalance.com. And you can find my phone number on any of the social media and my website. And I would love to talk to you. And we can talk about what's good for you and what you need in particular, because you're unique.
Perfect.
We want to take care of you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all of your wisdom. I am so happy that we had a chance to chat. And for all of you who are watching this, what Melissa is doing is just such a gift for being able to support all of the energy work that you're doing. You're working really hard trying to align all of those business actions with your energy. Then it's really nice to be able to support that with those essential oils. So I'm very happy we had a chance to chat. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for inviting me. This has been wonderful. I'm excited, and thank you.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned for the next episode that will be coming shortly. And thanks very much for watching, everyone. Hello and welcome back. Hope you got a lot of really great information from that video. Now, before you leave, there are two things that I'd like you to do. The first is subscribe to this channel and make sure that you get all of the really great information that we're going to have coming to you in the months ahead. Now, the second thing is to go to www.wendybyford.com. And when you do that, you're going to land on this page. You're going to be invited to watch a video called The 5 Things You Need to Know Before You Start Your Business. Now, if you've already started your business, no problem. I just go through 5 questions that you really need to answer in order to build a business that you'll love. However, more importantly, when you put in your name, your first name, your last name, and your email address, it's going to take you over to an opportunity to sign up for a discovery call so that you can find out if learning more about the universal laws is going to help you to accelerate the growth in your business and in your life. So go to www.wendybyford.com. Watch the video if you would like, but more importantly, click on that button to say, yes, I want to book my call, and let's have a conversation. Oh, and before you go, remember to subscribe to the channel.